Viktorija.
And mine is Klara.
We live in Croatia and we want to show you at least part of our alternative energy sources here in Croatia.
We are going to talk about hydropower, wind power, and solar energy. Solar energy technologies produce electricity from the energy of the sun. Small solar energy systems can provide electricity for homes and businesses. Larger solar energy systems provide more electricity for contribution to the electric power system. In Croatia, there is a lot of solar panels, although it is not used enough. We have a big potential because of the amount of insulation that our country has. The most famous power station in Croatia, called Pozdrav Suncu, the greeting to the sun in Zadar, is a solar power station and a tourist attraction all in one.
Wind energy is also represented in Croatia, but it could be used more. Mountains are not used enough too. We have a really strong wind called Bura in that high areas, which is perfect for making a great deal of wind energy. Hydropower technologies use water to create energy that can be turned into electricity. In 1884, the first hydroelectric power plant was built in Duga Resa. They keep growing, and as the time passes, more and more of them are being built. In one hand, it is good, because we make alternative energy and we are aware of the advances. But it is even more important to preserve river floats in Croatia, as they are really precious to us. Also, for this project, we made a mill. It's an old way of producing flour through water energy.
In conclusion, we should use more solar and wind energy because of the great predispositions and reduce the use of water energy.
Every day the world produces carbon dioxide that is released to the Earth's atmosphere and which will still be there in 100 years' time. This increased content of carbon dioxide increases the warmth of our planet and is the main cause of the so-called global warming effect. One answer to global warming is to replace and retrofit current technologies with alternatives that have comparable or better performance but do not emit carbon dioxide. We call this alternative energy. By 2050, one-third of the world's energy will need to come from solar, wind, or other renewable resources. Climate change, population growth, and fossil fuel depletion mean that renewables will need to play a bigger role in the future than they do today. Alternative energy refers to energy sources that have no undesired consequences, such for example fossil fuels or nuclear energy. Alternative energy sources are renewable and are thought to be free energy sources. They all have lower carbon emissions compared to conventional energy sources. These include biomass energy, wind energy, solar energy, geothermal energy, hydroelectric energy sources. Combined with the use of recycling, the use of clean alternative energies, such as the home use of solar power systems, will help ensure man's survival into the 21st century and beyond. More than 20% of Denmark's energy already comes from renewable energy, and the goal is to reach 100% by 2050. Much of renewable energy comes from wind turbines, where Denmark is a world leader when it comes to developing new technology. The biggest wind farm in Denmark is Anholt Wind Farm. We have more than 300 wind turbines in Denmark, and wind power covers more than 20% of the Danish electricity use. We also use solar energy in Denmark. Already today, Denmark covers 22% of the national energy consumption with renewables. A wind turbine can make use of the wind's kinetic energy. The wind moves the turbine's blades, which transfer energy through a central hub to a generator. The generator converts this mechanical energy into electrical energy that is then delivered to the power grid.
How does solar cell energy work? When the sun is shining, the sun energy can be captured to generate electricity or heat through a system of panels or mirror. The solar cells convert sunlight directly into electricity. Most solar cells are made primarily of silicon, same material as computer chips. When the sunlight hits the cell, the sunlight delivers a huge amount of energy, which knocks the electrons free from their atoms, allowing them to flow around the material, resulting in direct current electricity. This is sent to a power inverter for conversion to alternate current electricity, which is the form of electric power we use to power our homes and have in our homes. As you can see on the picture, you can see that the sun is sending down photons, sunlight, to the solar cells, which is powering up the electrons and sent over to the power inverter. Yes. There are some few advantages and disadvantages in this kind of alternative energy. With wind energy, there's no pollution emissions. It's a free fuel, as in the wind is free, and the windmills are very fast to generate the lost energy back. It's only taking 3 to 8 months for the energy farm to recoup the energy consumed by building it and installing it. However, the disadvantage is it can be very noisy and irritate people and animals. It can be hard to find windy places where to put them. Advantages and disadvantages in solar energy. Again, there's no pollutant emissions at all. Solar panels are very silent and easy to operate with. Solar energy is infinity and is very reliable. And you don't have to maintain the solar cells that much as, for example, windmills. However, there's some disadvantages. It's only in the daytime and when the sun is shining that they produce energy, and in countries like Denmark with unreliable climates, it can be hard to the solar cells to generate enough power to give enough power to the whole house, for example. Which alternative energy is the best? It's hard to say, but right now solar energy produces more energy, the most energy, but windmills produce a lot of energy also, but it's hard for us to store the energy from windmills, and therefore solar energy produces most energy right now. However, it's difficult to say which will be the cheapest, because it's a very new technology for everyone, so it's improving all the time. And other kinds of alternative energy, there is biomass. Biomass is a biological material where it's delivered from the living or recent living organisms. It's mostly plants or plant-based materials. As energy source, biomass can either be used directly via composting to produce heat, or indirectly after converting it to various forms of biofuel. Conversion of biomass can be achieved in different methods, which are broadly classified into thermal or biochemical methods. Thermal conversion process use heat as a dominant mechanism to convert biomass into another chemical form. Biochemical conversion makes use of enzymes of bacteria or other microorganisms to break down the biomass and make it into biofuel. Yes.